So this video is going to be a bit different than my other best episode lists. This is going to be a lot shorter, and this is for a couple of reasons. One, Starz Media has privatized most of the episodes and I am currently tight when it comes to money, so I can't get the episodes off Amazon. And two, I don't really have much to say about these episodes. That's the thing, as great as the show is, there isn't much to say about why an episode works other than it's funny. In fact, I almost considered canning the list, but I promised this at the end of my last one, and there are a few things I can say. Don't worry, more in-depth reviews will come, but for now, here are my top 15 favorite episodes of Dan Versus. Number 15. Art. You know what I hate? Abstract art. Art that puts little to no effort into making something worthwhile so they just tell people to find their own meaning. And by God, this episode mocks it perfectly. The villain was despicable. I literally wanted him to die in a fire. And the ending is extremely cathartic. Number 14. Cat Burglar. Holy crap, it's Gangster Squad done right! An homage to old school gangster flicks that isn't a completely incompetent mess. This made me want to watch more film noirs because while watching it I realized how much I like that genre, and yet I haven't actually seen that many. Also, Chris makes a good point. How do people become henchmen? Are they born into it or do you have to apply? Number 13. The Gym. I went to the gym pretty much every day of college, so believe me when I say that this episode is 100% accurate. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, this is exactly how evil the gym is. Also, it gets down to the fact that every other person there is in perfect physical condition and seem like the only reason they are there is to judge you. Sorry, I just had to vent. Anyway, this is a great episode that did not exaggerate a thing. Number 12. Anger Management. I can safely say this episode has the best opening in the whole series. Putting all these people together just worked out so well, and was overall just a great way to start off season 3. Number 11. High School Reunion. I don't know why, but I just love high school reunion movies. I guess because it taps into the nostalgia, but other than that, it was just funny with a really nice ending. Also, Dan's line about what his life was like in high school and at home was both funny and kinda sad. Number 10. The Lemonade Stand Gang. The weird thing about this episode is that it came so close to being absolutely terrible. I hated these little bastards and wanted them to get in trouble, and I was so afraid that the episode would be just torturing Dan and Chris, and the excuse would be, kids will be kids. No, fuck those little assholes. And the ending was so perfect. Number 9. The Monster Under the Bed. I'll be honest, I did kind of see this ending coming, but that doesn't stop it from being a really good ending. I like Dan, he manages to stay just on the side of likable, but sometimes he does need to be taught a lesson. I also like that Chris and Elise don't think Dan is crazy for the entire episode, but we'll get into that when we reach number 7. Number 8. Jury Duty. I do love myself a good court drama, and this episode parodies it perfectly. I like Chris's subplot, and that twist ending was amazing. Like, I know it's played for laughs, but that deserves to go up there with the great twists like Sixth Sense and Fight Club. Number 7. Dan, or the Imposter. This episode gets so high for one specific reason. That reason is that Chris and Elise don't spend the entire episode thinking Dan is crazy. I hate that cliche where someone is right but the friends don't believe them and then are proven wrong in the end. Here they find out less than halfway through and Imposter Dan starts to bring Chris over to his side, which is way more interesting as a plot. Number 6. The Salvation Armed Forces. This is another one with an ending that is just so satisfying. I have to give this show credit for making me absolutely loathe people who give to charity just so I can sympathize with the main character. I hated everything about the Salvation Armed Forces, and this episode also has my favorite last shot. I won't spoil it, but it's really, really funny. Number 5. Summer Camp. A really great way to end the series. The characters get a good backstory, the villain is one of the most despicable, and the revenge is extremely satisfying. And it also has a great feeling of finality. All 3 characters being there, the music, all of them happy, it just makes you feel good that you watched this show and lets you know that even though the show is over, the characters will live on in our hearts and in our minds. Now get lost. No wait, I still have 4 episodes left. Never mind. Number 4. The Mall Santa. I already covered this in my top 15 favorite Christmas episodes list, so if you want more detail you can check that out. But to sum it up, it's one of the best examples of a mean-spirited Christmas episode, and it has an ending that puts a huge smile on my face. And that's what Christmas is all about. Number 3. The family Thanksgiving. You know, this is similar to what my Thanksgivings were like, with the kids' table that I had to sit at until I was like 16. I really like the character of Ben. He reminds me a lot of myself, but really this episode makes it this high for Elise's parents. Those two are just amazing. Number 2. The Family Cruise. Speaking of Elise's parents, I figured that if you put these two in an episode, it will be great. Just automatically great. Well funny and well paced, I think the real reason that this gets so high is the ending. I actually felt for every single character. It was intense and I sat there almost ready to cry. But then I realized how it was going to end. And despite that, it's still just an amazing episode. Number 1. Canada. Yeah, you saw this coming. It's probably the most well-known episode, and that's because it's perfect. It's hilarious, the plot is interesting, the pacing is phenomenal, it's great at not only mocking Canada, but also bringing out its good points. It's an awesome episode to an awesome show. So yeah, sorry this was so short and didn't have much in terms of clips, but don't worry, they should return for the next one, which will be a little follow-up to a video I made a few months ago on my main channel. See you next time!